Hey guys, I'm Joshua and I sing and play guitar for a band called Banks Arcade, and we're here at Download Festival.
You can if you want.
And this is my idiot drummer, James.
So we're at Download Festival. Are you excited to be here?
Oh,
Absolutely.
we're so excited to be here.
It's
amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and obviously you already played as well on Dogtooth stage. The crowd were loving it. It was a really good set.
Absolutely went off. It was a blast.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so how did it feel to be on stage at such a big festival?
Yeah, it felt amazing. Kind of a bucket list moment for sure.
Yeah, we were just saying, for us coming from New Zealand, we don't really have festivals of this caliber and size. So being able to come out on a bill like this and play to people in a completely different country on the other side of the world is absolutely amazing for us. It's a dream come true, really. And we weren't sure what to expect, but yeah, there seemed to be a few fans in the crowd and maybe some people that we won over by the end of it. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And people as well who cook you breakfast each morning.
Yes. Shout out to John and the team.
Honestly, those fellas, they're camped up right beside us. And on the first day, he started cooking up some bacon, and he saw us all kind of come out of our tents looking to see it. And he said, "Oh, come on, boys, come and have some breakfast." So they've been feeding us the whole time we've been over here. And they bought a bunch of merch, leftover merch that we had, and they all showed up in their merch, and they were loving it out there.
Best saucy rolls I've ever had. Really good.
Oh, that's great. If we keep on the Download theme for a moment.
Yep.
So, is there anyone on the bill that you're excited to see?
Yeah, so I would say for us, Sleep Token and Loathe, who are on the same management as us. I caught Sleep Token yesterday, and they were insane. And we just caught half of Loathe's set before coming here, and absolutely brilliant bands. I'd say Deftones tonight is going to be a pretty big one.
Yeah. Day to Remember was a big one for me. That was a huge, played all the hits and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of bands that we love. It's amazing.
That's great. And if you could put together your own Download stage, who would you have playing?
Ooh, this is going to take way too long.
I'd say to make it simple, I'd say we'd have the main stages headlined by probably Metallica,
yes.
My Chemical Romance, Slipknot. That would probably be the Banks
cover
Arcade.
the whole band's
And then we'd mix it up with a lot of the people that are already on here we would probably choose, but I would say those would probably be the big boys.
The big dogs. Yeah.
That's fair. So recently as well, you released your new single, Be Someone.
Yep.
Can you tell us about the song, about the inspiration behind it?
Yeah, so it's actually interesting because Be Someone is one of the first tracks where, as an artist, I felt like I truly was expressing myself, because when you start out as an artist, you're trying to write music that's inspired by all the people that you listen to, and you just want to make stuff that sounds good. You're trying to find that, and then once you get to a point where you can express what you're genuinely feeling, it's a really awesome experience. And so I definitely had that with that song for the first time, and I think it just speaks to the journey of artists and people that create, and the sort of things that they go through. Obviously there's a lot of highs, but there's a lot of lows when you're trying to follow this dream, and our band resonates with people who are on the chase and who have a lot of drive to get something. So I think it captures a lot of those emotions and longing, and also some of the relationships that get lost along the way, and things that you have to sacrifice to get to a certain point in your career. But yeah, the song definitely means a lot to me. It means a lot to the band. So
and for me, being this guy's best mate, I can speak to how accurately the song expresses how he feels and what drives him and his experience. So I think it's a huge milestone in his artistic development that it's accurately expressing his stuff, you know what I mean? So it's very exciting for me to hear, and it's definitely always, I don't know, it's a bit of a sleeper, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to play Be Someone now, and then it gets me extremely emotional every single time.
We always see it as the low point of the set, but it doesn't usually end up turning out that way.
Yeah, quite emotional.
Good. Good, definitely. And obviously you've also got Future Lovers coming out on July the 29th.
Correct.
Yeah, so I mean there was quite a bit of a story behind it, because I think it was going to start to be a concept album, and then I think it all changed.
Yeah, so I think it was written initially from the perspective of being a concept album, and then throughout the creative process I kind of realized how anecdotal a lot of the stuff was and how personal a lot of the things were. So we had that overarching theme throughout the process, and then we separated from that in terms of how we put it out to the world, because we feel like this album is definitely a setup and an introduction to the band. We've got so many different styles that influence what we do. We listen to lots of electronic music, lots of hip hop, lots of pop, and those all have their voice on this album. So I feel like, yeah, we stepped away from that, and we want it just to be a showcase of kind of the base level of what we're capable of, and then the next releases that follow will really sort of help to cement that.
Yeah.
That's cool. And is there any sort of one particular track that you're most proud of, or you think is going to probably be, whether it becomes a single or not, you think it's going to be one that the fans are going to just really connect with?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to tell because there is such an eclectic sound across the whole thing. For me, it always switches, I mean, Don't Start was a big one for me, which I think is just such a solid song. But apart from that, there's some unexpected stuff on the album, some electronic stuff that Josh largely wrote, which I think is just, I don't know, it's got some very unique feelings to me and stuff like that. I think it's some fucking sick shit, and I think people will not expect it. So I'm excited for people to hear it.
Yeah, 100%. For me, I think it'll probably be the closing track of the album, which is titled Wine. And it's not one of the tracks that got picked as a big leading single or anything, but I feel like it shows one of the colours that Banks Arcade has, which is probably my favourite one, and it's more influenced from that emo era of bands like My Chem. It's massive and has it kind of takes you on a journey and it has this big ending. And I think a song like that can really connect with people, but like James said, it's really hard to choose. I mean, Smile has definitely been the live favourite. Yep. When we play that live, it always goes off, so it'll be interesting to see what resonates with people the most.
Yeah, that's fair. And so what is the plan for the rest of 22 for Banks Arcade?
So we're straight back to Australia on Monday, and then we've got a couple of weeks off, and we're going on tour with Thornhill and Dayseeker across Australia. Then we go to do a headline tour in New Zealand. Then we go back to Australia for a 30-date tour with In Heart's Wake, which is going to be a really fun one. Yeah. And then we're planning to come back here before the end of the year, and we've got a few things that are getting lined up that we can't really confirm or deny at the moment. But yeah, we've got lots on the horizon, and obviously Future Lovers, the album comes out on July 29th, so we'll just be setting up for that.
That's great. And we like to sort of play a little game as well, with some fun questions just to lighten the mood. So I'm going to ask you to pick a number between 1 and 20, and each one is a different question.
Well, should we pick one each?
You can pick one each, and you can both answer if you want to.
I'll definitely go for a 16 for sure.
16.
I was going to say that actually.
If there was a new Punk Goes Pop record, what song would you cover?
Oh, I reckon I would want to go for an Ariana Grande maybe, or a Sophie song maybe, like
Sophie
Face
Grofie?
Shopping. No, or a Sophie Grofie song. Actually, Cringe by Sophie Grofie and Walker and Royce. I reckon we should do that 100%.
She's a Melbourne artist, isn't she?
She's a fucking amazing Melbourne artist, and there's an amazing producer DJ duo from the States. So yeah, that would be it.
I'd probably go for something off the new Weekend album.
Yeah.
The Lights or something.
Yeah, that flashing. What is it? Flashing strobes. I don't know what that song is. It's a good one though. You should check it out if you haven't heard that one. Absolutely.
That's great. Do you want to pick a number?
I'll go 13.
What is the one city that you wish you could play in that you haven't yet?
Maybe Palmerston North, my hometown.
No, I reckon. Man. Well, we haven't been to the States as a band yet. I've spent quite a lot of time in the States, and I know that this is probably quite a doable city, but I'm pretty excited to play in Nashville, which is where a lot of my family and stuff is from. So that'll be pretty.
Yeah, that'd be good. Maybe is that where Joe Rogan lives? Maybe get him along. I don't even know that guy.
That's good. Do you want to pick another one?
Oh yeah, I'll go for number 1. To be honest.
Would you rather be able to write music but not be able to play it, or play music but not be able to write it?
I think
that's a hard one.
I would like to be like a writing genius and stuff like that, but I think my mental health will take. She's pretty shaky at times. And I reckon that would be very brutal if that would be the whole thing that I did. So for that reason, I would go play it live.
I would say the exact same thing, but it would just rip me up. Like writing music is one of my favorite things. But
it's so satisfying.
I'd have to go with that.
Yeah.
That's fair. Do you want to pick one more?
Yeah, I'll go 7.
7. If aliens came to Earth and wanted to know more about Banks Arcade, what is the one song you would give them?
I reckon probably like Ether. Unreleased song.
Yeah, Ether.
Yeah, something like that.
There's a song which, like, because we were over here recording in this trip that we've been here, so even though we've got the album done, we're kind of recording the next project. There's a song off of that I would definitely give them, and I think that you know what it is. That would be More Want.
Oh, yeah.
So that's if anyone's
like
watched to this point, that's a massive Easter egg for like a year's time. But that's what I would give to them.
Yes, that's a good one.
Off of Future Lovers, it would be Ether though.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great. Well, yeah, I mean, do you want to pick a couple more, or?
Yeah, 15 maybe.
15. What's the most surreal moment that you've had in the band?
I feel like I've had some. Well, there was. I don't know. I mean, Harlan, our bass player, was showing. We've got a dude that's doing sound for us at the moment, Lewis, who's an amazing MFer, and Harlan was just showing him his cheese selection that he had in the fridge, which was mostly, Lewis pointed out, not real cheese at all. It was all processed cheese. And that was a very strange moment for me and for him. He pointed out the fact that he'd been a fan of our band for years, and he's like, "This is not what I expected."
To also find out that the sound guy that we got in the UK has been listening to us since like 2015.
Yeah, well, exactly. That was surreal.
It was all happening at once.
There's a lot of surrealism, to be honest.
I think probably a more down the line one would be would be either any of the festivals we've played. I mean, this is probably one of the most surreal moments.
Yeah, this and Unify both for me were
even just arriving in the UK was pretty big. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you for talking to us today.
Cheers. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.